Top 10 countries with zero income tax. Hello lovely YouTube family, welcome back to Global Chaser. In today's video we're going to talk about the top 10 countries with zero income tax. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our videos. Number 10, the Bahamas. As one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world, it's no wonder why the Bahamas doesn't need to charge income tax to make ends meet. Plus, with its stunning beaches and fast-growing economy, the Bahamas is one of the most livable countries with no income tax. Establishing a second residence there is not too difficult either, as long as you have the money. Getting a temporary resident permit is as simply as paying $1,000 at the immigration office, and it's renewable every year. Recently, however, the Bahamas has started cracking down on foreign residents who use a temporary permit without making investments. If you want to stay there long term, you'll need to buy at least $250,000 in property to get on track for permanent residence. Number 9, Bahrain. Bahrain is one of the first states in the Persian Gulf to discover oil on its lands. The oil discovery has allowed it not to become one of the wealthiest nations in the world and one of its handful of countries with no income tax. It's also fairly easy to live there. While I'm not particularly enamored by Manama, the city is well developed and there's a sizable expat community here. However, the problem with Bahrain and many other Gulf states is that getting permanent residence can be difficult. Number 8, Brunei. This tiny colony of the Malaysian island Brunei has also enough oil wealth to forego income tax. Brunei countries with no income tax. Brunei is an interesting tax-free country, but most people would not want to live there. However, unlike Bahrain or the Bahamas, Brunei is extremely difficult to live in. I wasn't a fan of Brunei when I visited several years ago. It's not very friendly to foreigners, and the government is frankly heavy-handed and dictatorial. I even met a fellow expat who was scared to speak with me thanks to local laws and policing practices. Number 7, Cayman Islands. Like the Bahamas, the Cayman Islands' scenic beaches draw enough tourists to keep the government afloat without the need for income tax. However, if you want to live there long term, be prepared to invest a considerable amount of money. You'll need to be making $145,000 per year and invest at least $600,000 in real estate or local companies if you want to live in the Grand Cayman. And from there, you'll need to wait another 8 years for permanent residence. Number 6, Kuwait. Like many of the Gulf countries on the list, Kuwait doesn't need to levy on income tax thanks to its large oil industry. It's also one of the most expat-friendly countries in the world. Foreign citizens make up 2/3 of the population, and from my experience, Kuwait City is highly Americanized and easy to navigate. However, while I enjoyed visiting and doing business in Kuwait, obtaining permanent residency there generally requires you to have Kuwaiti relatives or formal employment within the country. Number 5, Maldives. Imagine living in an overwater bungalow without paying a dime in income tax. You can technically do that in the Maldives, a small island country in the Indian Ocean. Thanks to its plentiful and expensive resorts, the Maldives doesn't need much need for an income tax. However, while spending your days living tax-free in the Maldives sounds idyllic at first, staying there long-term is close to impossible. Number 4, Monaco. Monaco's status as one of the world's best tax-free countries has made it into a playground for the European elite. This gorgeous country in the French Riviera is safe and luxurious, yet it charges its residents and citizens a total of zero income tax. Plus, since the country tends to attract high-income, tax-adverse types, it'll likely remain among countries with no income tax for the foreseeable future. It's also one of the easier tax-free countries to become a citizen in. Although you'll need to spend several million dollars to prove your wealth in order to become a resident, the residency process itself is fairly straightforward since it's a popular destination for wealthy expats. If you're thinking of moving there, check out our ultimate guide to getting residency and citizenship in Monaco. For those of you who prefer European glamour to island life, then living tax-free in Monaco may be the right choice. Number 3, Nehru. Nehru is a small island country in Micronesia that was first named the Pleasant Island by European sailors. However, the island doesn't seem quite living up to its nickname. Number 2, Oman. Like most of the Middle Eastern countries on the list, Oman is a wealthy and entrepreneurial nation that has no need for an income tax thanks to its oil and gas industry. Additionally, despite its massive oil and gas reserves, Oman has made a distinct effort to diversify its economy and open its market to new opportunity. This makes it a great alternative to the UAE for investors looking for new opportunities in the Gulf. Number 1, Qatar. At first glance, Qatar appears remarkably similar to its neighbor in the Persian Gulf. It's a small, wealthy country that earns its fortune through the oil industry. Its culture is highly conservative yet rapidly modernizing thanks to the foreign investment and influence. And of course, its oil and gas revenue allows the government to stay afloat without levying an income tax. Despite those similarities, Qatar is a fascinating country due to its particularly high level of development and role in the world politics. That's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss any amazing video from us.